Hey there, and welcome back. So, with what was supposed to be the last major WordPress release of 2021, we're getting a new default WordPress theme, aptly named 2022. This default theme, as you'll see during our demo, is the most flexible default theme ever, and it does a spectacular job of showing off what you can do with full site editing. So today, let's take a look at the theme and everything that it offers you if you decide to use it. Before we get started, if you want to see more videos about WordPress, web design, e-commerce, digital marketing, and other website related topics, be sure to hit the subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications. Now, let's get started. So every year with the last major release of the year, the WordPress team creates a new default theme. 2022 is that theme for the last update for 2021. However, when WordPress 5.9 got delayed, so did the new default theme. But the wait has been worth it. 2022 flawlessly shows off what full site editing can do for your website. From the global styles, including colors and typography, to the header and footer, to all the different templates. Plus, it even has color palettes you can choose from to save time. It's also the most flexible WordPress default theme ever. Most default themes are just themes that you use on your website until you find or create the perfect theme for your site. But 2022 might not be that for most websites. You could, in theory, create a unique website to you or your business just by customizing the heck out of it. It'll take time, of course, especially to sort of play around with the editor and whatnot, but it is possible. Plus, it provides a great playground for those of us who are web designers or developers to really play around with full site editing and what it can do. I know for me, I've had a few mental roadblocks with full site editing and how to really use it to the best of its abilities. But trying out WordPress 5.9 with the new 2022 theme, it all becomes a lot clearer on how it's supposed to work. Finally, despite what you might think, at a base level it loads pretty quick, and a lot of that comes down to, well, the file sizes. In total, it checks out at about 4 megabytes, most of which are images and videos that are included with the theme, which you can easily get rid of if you don't need. And just for comparison, my Sports Bench main theme checks in at actually around 7 megabytes, so it's quite a bit smaller. Okay, so we're just going to take a little bit of a demo of the new 2022 theme, just so you can see what you can do with the theme. So right now I've got sort of this basic test website I have for creating things with easy digital downloads. Nothing too fancy right now. I've just installed and activated the 2022 theme, and this is what the homepage looks like by default. It's basically just a listing page for what I have on the site. As you can see, this is pretty all basically laid out. Come in and we can view the single post template, and this is what it looks like. All very straightforward. And then this is what the single page template looks like. And again, very simple, very minimal. I actually kind of like that. And then this is basically what an archive page would look like. And now, really the best part about the 2022 theme and WordPress full site editing is that we can easily change all these templates right from the editor, and you don't have to worry about any code. So to do that, we can go up here to edit site. And if you're trying to access it from the dashboard, you would go to appearance and then editor. And so we get loaded up in here. And one of the first things we can do is we can click this little styles tab to go open up the global styles editor, and we can change the typography, figure out what font we want to use, the size of the text, the line height, and then even the font weight. Also, we can come in here and we can mess around with the colors. We can add in different color palettes that we want to use throughout different blocks or sections of the website. themes, especially the 2022 theme, have their own palettes that we can use. They're sort of the default colors, and then you can come in here and create your own custom colors that you might want to use for your site. And then you can apply these colors to like the background. I wouldn't recommend that, but you can really just mess around with it very easily, as well as text and then link colors as well. Now, what really makes this very flexible with full site editing and how the 2022 theme utilizes that is that we can change like things like the header, the footer, what the home page template looks like, what the page template looks like, what the single post template looks like. So just sort of as a brief walkthrough of that, you can come in here and we're just gonna edit the header a little bit. And then we can add in items really to our menu. And then even with the menu, you can change the orientation, justify it, whatever. All this fun business. It's been really well done from when the first time I really started to use it with WordPress 5.8. So that's simple. You can also add in your site logo or any of that. Make a nice rounded logo. And then it's really similar with the footer. Come down here and we can, can even mess with this. And like we would come in here and we'd hit save. And then we can go down here to the bottom. And our changes have been saved. And you'll see it like basically on every page. So like come down here. Voila. And it just doesn't work for the footer or the header. You can also do it for the home page. If you wanted to change, right now it's querying like the last 10 posts, but you could change it if you wanted something more static. You could change the page to just show text in different blocks and use some of the different block patterns that are included. Or we can go in here and we can browse some more of the templates. Let's look at just a single page. And you can come in here and a lot of sort of default blocks are here, placeholder blocks or whatever you want to call them, like the post title. This will be where the page title is shown or the featured image. So obviously you don't see a whole bunch of content here. The post content, it's where the main body content will show up. And you can arrange this in different ways. So for example, here with the, maybe if you have great featured images for your pages, you want to make it full align, go across the entire width of the page. Or maybe your pages aren't going to have featured images, which is fine. You can just come in here and should be able to just delete that block. And then you can hit save, and then it saves it. And then we can even go over here to the single post template. Maybe for this, since we're going to have a lot of featured images with our post, then we would put it full line. And then, well, we don't want to deal with post terms, really. We don't want to deal with post categories and don't really want to deal with post tags. Then we can do that. We could also add in comments. You could hypothetically, if you have a block from something like Yoast or some other plugin that maybe has related posts, you would be able to add it here, and those would get automatically inserted into every single post, no matter what you do with that post. Anyway, we come in here and we can hit save. And really, that's all there is to this theme, and you can really play around with it. I've had a lot of fun just kind of messing around, not doing a whole lot specifically, just kind of seeing what's available to mess around with and how really full site editing works. Because I've been trying to figure out how to work on full site editing themes and create custom premium themes that way so that users can, build whatever they want while having sort of a design and structure that a normal theme has. And this is a great example for how all that can work. So I would definitely just, take some time, see if you can set it up in a sandbox or a test environment where you can mess around with things, break things. That's always fun to do when you're first starting out on something. So you can figure out, break things, where are the limits, all that in a completely safe environment, and just really have fun. Because by far, this is my favorite default WordPress theme. So hands down, this is the best default WordPress theme out there. There are so many different things that you can do with this theme, and the possibilities are endless. If you have enough time, you could basically just create any type of website you want with this theme. And that's pretty impressive. I highly recommend that you try and find some sort of like WordPress sandbox where you can try out this theme and WordPress 5.9 on your own. That way you can break it and screw things up and make mistakes, but not break any of your live sites. In the end, it's going to be the perfect showcase for what you can do with full site editing and WordPress in today's world. Awesome job to everyone who worked on this theme. So that's it for today. What questions do you have about the 2022 theme? Is it something that you might want to use for your website now? Be sure to leave them all down in the comment section below. If you want to see more videos about WordPress, web design, e-commerce, digital marketing, and other website related topics, be sure to hit the subscribe button and to ring the bell for notifications. But until next time, I wish you and your business the best of luck.